His protection is there, but if he says no, I would never do it because the energy of that work would be too heavy for me.
The healer would then, because they did the contract, exchange their health for the health of the patients.
I might feel in my own body what the other person is experiencing, their illness, but I'm not picking up on it. It's their illness.
Funny Universe Podcast. Funny and tragic stories and their spiritual life lessons.
So I am a Reiki master and I have been initiated into Usui Reiki, but also have a connection with my Sufi lineage, my Naqshbandi masters as well. With my own personal development, my own spiritual evolution, my Reiki has changed throughout the years. So now I do a lot of meditation directly with the, I guess, mighty I am presence or divine presence, where I'm breathing it into my body and really bringing heaven onto earth. And that comes through my Reiki.
I did Reiki as well.
Yeah.
But then I looked really deep into the ancestral roots.
Yeah.
And when you do the kanji, which is the signing, so sometimes in Usui Reiki, there's got the traditional kanji writing. It's kind of, in the ancient forms, it's a contract between an old soul, between another entity.
Right.
And I found that from ancestral roots, the Reiki people who would heal, the healer would then, because they did the contract, exchange their health for the health of the patients. And so you find just statistically a lot more master Reiki healers who prolifically heal people because they're constantly exchanging contractually the patient's health for theirs without protecting themselves. If I didn't protect myself properly, I would quite easily absorb the other person's, let's say, backache or whatever it was, because I felt the exchange, and so I stopped doing that almost immediately. I stopped doing what I was doing, and then I went a deep dive into the ancestral roots so that I could completely understand where it's coming from. And then I understood it's the exchange, because if people are invoking without understanding what they're invoking and without understanding the incantation, without understanding where all of the symbolism and the movements came from, then it could be quite dangerous not knowing what you're incanting or exchanging. However, I really like the fact that you said it developed into a direct channel, because I find that energy healing, you don't need that middleman, because Usui Reiki is adding that middleman in.
My understanding is quite different, if I'm honest with you. So for me, Reiki means life force healing energy. It's a connection with the divine, and when I'm giving it, because you have to go through certain initiations, you're opened up as a channel. And you probably went through this, but each time you have the initiation, you then go through a detoxification process for 3-4 weeks. And I remember when I went through the second level of Reiki, that was like, whoa, really heavy detox for me. I'm calling on divine. It's a prayer, but I may call on ascended masters to assist me, or the angels to assist me, or my spiritual lineage, my Sufi lineage as well, and the Reiki masters, because their souls of Dr. Usui Reiki, there's a spiritual lineage where that spiritual knowledge is coming from divine down through me. I might feel in my own body what the other person is experiencing, their illness, but I'm not picking up on it. It's their illness. It's about them. And there are certain rituals to protect myself, which I do, but also I'm in prayer a lot, and I'm very blessed because I have a Sufi master, so who is a living saint, who can see, like, can my soul carry this weight of this type of work? So I ask him, whatever, if I want to do a certain job.
What's his name?
Sheikh Mehmet.
Okay.
It was Sheikh Mehmet who I asked. I would say, look, is it good for me to offer Reiki? And he's very clear. Sometimes he'd be like, yes, no. And he's like, yes, go ahead, do it. If you know how to do it, do it. And he's always there with me. So I can call on him spiritually. His protection is there. But if he says no, I would never do it, because the energy of that work would be too heavy for me. For me, people were the first people on this planet, and they were living in heart consciousness, like love-based consciousness, and that's how they would heal one another. I was very curious to know, how did Jesus heal with his hands? How did Buddha heal with his hands? And his abbot said, look, go and climb, I think it's Mount Kariyama in Japan. It's a very, very sacred mountain. So he fasted for 21 days, so 21 stones. And after 21 days, he was given this spiritual knowledge. It came zoom into his third eye of all the symbols of the Reiki symbols and all the spiritual knowledge of how to heal. And he found his abbot, and his abbot had arthritis, and he put his hands on him, and this healing energy was coming through him, and he's healing his hands. He healed his abbot's granddaughter who had a terminal illness. And then he went into the slums of Tokyo, and he healed the people with leprosy. And at that point, he realised that there needed to be an energy exchange, because when he healed the people with leprosy, they became resentful. They became resentful because they had to take responsibility of their lives. Because when they had leprosy, they didn't have to work, they had everything provided for them. And when they were well and healthy, they had to stop providing and working. And they didn't like it. So he realised there needed to be an energy exchange. And either that could be money, or it could be a service, or whatever. So that's why the energy exchange came in. That it's not the healer doing it to the client, but the client is taking responsibility of their own health, and they want to be healed. So yeah, the power dynamic is balanced. And then at the turn of the century, the 19th century, there was a massive earthquake in Tokyo, and Dr. Usui Mikao was healing like a starfish. People were coming to him, and the energy was coming out of his hands and his feet. And people wanted to know how did he do it. They wanted to learn how he did it. So he set up it was a hospital, but it was a school at the same time. People would come in sick. He would heal them, but he would initiate them, and he would show them how to do the healing. And he initiated, I think it was 11, I always get the numbers wrong, but 11 grandmasters of Reiki, and then some other grandmasters, I can't remember how many. But one of them, his granddaughter, Dr. Hawaii Takota, she went to Hawaii, and she started healing Westerners, and she realised that Westerners didn't want to go through this process of going in sick and going through this initiations and these trainings and then being healers. So she created the 3 levels of Reiki training, Reiki initiations, that we as Westerners have been initiated into. When I met Sheikh Nazim, when I was in my, like 20 years ago, I was not well as a person. And I went in, and I took an initiation with him, Bayer. It's like a spiritual alliance. And it was like going in a washing machine internally and being completely cleansed. But my whole life was like upside down, going in quite not well, sick, and then being much healthier. And I feel like I can relate very much to those people going in sick and having that spiritual lineage with Dr. Usui Mikao and coming out healers. And in the Sufi tradition, it's called a golden sinsilla. That spiritual knowledge comes from the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, through Abu Bakr Siddiq, who is his close companions, all the way down through the Sufi masters. It trickles down. There's a complete direct spiritual lineage.
You will have it available for anybody who comes here to stay.
Yeah.
They can book it with you.
Yes.
Can you address this healing? Can you give an example of when a person would need it?
Reiki heals physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. You could have it maybe if you've got a physical problem, it's going to help. If you're feeling stressed, it's going to help. If you're feeling, emotionally, for all different, or even if you just want to feel relaxed, because it's a life force energy. It's kind of when the Reiki passes through me to you, and the Reiki energy has a wisdom of its own. It goes to where it's needed. I'm just channeling it. And it's going to clear all your energy fields, all your chakras are going to be realigned. So just for vitality, it's a really beautiful thing to have. You might want insight, or you might have a problem with something. It will show you that. And with Reiki, you can heal situations, or you can heal the past. Because if you heal the past, then you can heal the future.
You're realigning the chakras. Some people might not understand what chakras are, but they're energy centers of the body.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is you're spinning them back into alignment, and so there's less energy blockages, and your chi, your natural life force energy, can flow more easily through your body.
So you're more harmonious.
Okay, great. And so it's important for them to book with you if they're feeling that there's an energy blockage, or they're feeling fatigue. That could be a symptom, fatigue.
Or just not right, or any physical manifestations, or mental problems, or emotional problems,
Visit Glastonbury, the heart chakra of the world, where you can be your authentic self at healthfreedom.uk.